Hey, everybody, and welcome. So excited that you have joined us. And I am excited to introduce to you my guest today, Angela Chambers. Angela is a Christian ministry speaker, Bible teacher, storyteller, and author. Oh, that is awesome. God
Yes,
has
thank
you
you.
busy.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. Oh, thank you so much for joining me today, Angela. It's a pleasure to have you.
Janet, it's so nice to be with you and your audience, and thank you for inviting me.
Oh, you are so welcome. Now, if you will, please share with us what has God given you to do in this season, and how is faith helping you do it?
Well, Janet, this is a busy season for me. Just like seasons change from summer to fall and winter and spring, our lives, changes come. And they're not on a
Absolutely.
quarterly basis either.
Sometimes a lot sooner than we're ready for them.
Absolutely. And so, right now in my life, as you introduced me, I am a public speaker and a storyteller, a Bible teacher, and an author. But, you know, that comes from a lifelong preparing for it. I didn't know, but I was. But I'm also a wife and a mama, and I'm a Gigi of 12 grandbabies. And I take,
12.
yes, and I
Bless
take care
you.
of
Oh,
my
what a
mother.
blessing.
Yes, it is. And that is so wonderful how God orchestrates all this. And so in in all of those things, I wear a lot of hats, but it is the season that I'm in right now in this stage of my life. So, I've raised my girls, and they're all out of the house, and now
Uh-huh.
it's grandchildren time. But my
Mhm.
top priority, as they have been most of the time, is now my mother. She just turned 91,
Oh,
and she does live on her own, and she wants to stay that way as long as she can. And she's in good health. But, at 91, things change. Things are slower, or things are not, she can't do the things that she used to do or wanted to do. And
right.
so my daddy passed just a year and a half ago, and she was his caretaker to the end. He had a stroke, and that brought on vascular dementia. And
Oh,
he lived about 6 years after the stroke.
mm.
And mama just lovingly, gently, perfection cared for my daddy, and I helped her. They were married 70 years.
Ah,
70. That's almost unheard of today,
wow, that's
that
for sure.
someone's married that long. But they brought me up in a Christian home. My daddy was a Southern Baptist minister. They also did evangelism, and they went on a lot of overseas mission trips to
Wow.
places all around the world
Mm.
ministering. So I have a great foundation. My faith is, my total, without a doubt, belief in Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who was lived a sinless life. He died on the cross. We just celebrated the resurrection. So that is the foundation, and so that foundation allows me to do the things that God has called me to right now. And so, helping my mama right now, I grocery shopping, doctor's appointments, car maintenance.
Absolutely.
I'm her yard guy. I it's hard work, and so whatever she needs,
Yeah.
that's where I am. And so, I, as children in their home, they loved, cared, provided, gave guidance for us, and I see it as a pleasure. I do not see it as something that I have to do or begrudge in any way. We have a good time when I go over.
Yeah.
She's my biggest fan with my devotion book that I bought, that I wrote, and so that is just a pleasure to do. And but without God's help, there are hard days. There are
Yeah.
tough days when you're caring for a parent,
Yeah.
and he just gives me love and energy and strength, and we have fun, and we enjoy ourselves together. And so that is huge. And then, of course, as I said, I'm a mama, and I have 12 grandbabies, and that is so huge for me. I am deep and strong in family,
Well,
and love these children. Most of them live around us. Only two live away, and they only live 2 hours away. So we still see them at least twice a month.
Yeah, that's
And
wonderful.
so, years ago, Janet, I went through a divorce, something that I did not anticipate early on, but it was a troubled marriage for many, many years. I stayed 28 years.
Mm,
I was, during that time, a children's minister in a church for 14 years. And when the divorce happened, that ceased to be. I was
mhm.
not on a staff at the time of my divorce, but I was at a different church volunteering. I was teaching children's church and I was doing their music. But when the pastor found out that I
Oh,
left my marriage, I was sat down and I was not allowed. And that hurt, but I was complaining to the Lord about it one
yeah.
day because I never got hired back on staff at a church as a
Mm,
children's minister being divorced.
mm,
And the Lord said to me, Angela, I gave you all these babies. You have children's ministry. I didn't take that away from you. Man may have taken that away from you, but it wasn't me. And
yeah.
so I never looked the same at losing that job or that career. I looked at it as God laid these sweet children at my feet, and I had a job to do, a loving, fun, family filled work to do. I get to pick them up from school, take them to sporting events. I'm their biggest fan at anything they
Yeah.
do. While
Oh,
their parents go on vacations or anniversary dates or have to work,
mhm.
I have influence in their lives. And one day, one of my grandbabies was here with her little brother, and I heard her tell him, Daddy left me in charge today. I laughed and I didn't say anything in their little conversation. And I went back in the room later. Toys were scattered. They were not in trouble. I was laughing. I said, "Who scattered all these toys?" And she told on her brother. Easton did. And I said, "Oh well, I thought Daddy left you in charge today." She said, "Well, you're the charger." I am the charger here in this place. I am the charger. God allowed me and my husband to have influence in their lives. We are,
Oh,
we pray with them. We, we're there at their events. When they're sick, we help take care.
yeah.
God gave us this season of life, my faith, so I can feed into all of these children. They're from 2 to 20,
Oh
and
my.
two we took in. They're not by birth, but we took them in 15 years ago, their mommy. And so we have this family of all these ages that I'm given the privilege to
That's
pour into
amazing.
them. And it's because of my faith. I know a
Mm,
lot of parents and grandparents who may not serve or know the Lord love their children and their family too. It's not that
yeah,
they don't, but
yeah.
I have this beautiful responsibility and gift. This past weekend, I had two of the out of town ones with me, and we were going over to the barn and we were going to see the chickens and feed the horses. And it was dark because we were putting the chickens up a little later. And he said, Gigi, I'm a little scared right now. I said, buddy, you don't have to be scared. I'm here. I'm holding your hand. I said, but Jesus is with us. He turned around. He said, well, he's not following us. So it was a precious opportunity to
Mm,
feed into
child.
him. Jesus is with us. He's
Yeah.
not following behind us. You don't see him with your flashlight, but he's here. He goes before us. And so all of these
Yes.
opportunities God gave me because of my faith. I get to spill
Wow.
out into
Yeah.
my mama. I get to spill out into my girls.
Yes.
And I get to spill out into these precious little ones that God gave me.
Ooh,
And then, as we talked about, the being a Bible teacher and a public speaker and an author, you know, God equips us on the way, but it doesn't start the day we feel the call to do something. He has
right.
been preparing us for that all of our life. My daddy's
Mm.
a minister. He's a talker. I'm a talker. I've always loved the Lord. I've held on always to my faith. Now I've had rotten times,
Yeah.
but never walked away and said, God, this isn't working for me. I don't need you. Boy, do I need him. Boy, do I
Yeah.
need him.
Yeah.
And so now, my youngest child was born with an eating disorder, and She was
Oh,
never hungry to eat, and she was on a feeding tube till she was 4. I
oh
can
my
use that
goodness.
to help and serve others. Going through a divorce, and I had 2 married children, and one was engaged. Even though they were older, it was hard and it was painful. And God allows me to use that because of my faith to
Yes.
help others.
Mm.
Um, I have gone through some of my children were rebellious at times, and there were hard roads to go through. And God
Yeah.
allowed me to stick to my faith, and now I use that and I help others. Every Friday, I get to teach at it's called the Love Lady Center here in Birmingham, and it is women who've been in jail, prison, or homeless,
Oh
and there's over
my.
500 women there, and I teach classes,
Mm-hmm.
Bible classes. Oh, the experiences that I have now, I have not faced a lot of things they have. I've not gone through anything like most of them have. But because of my faith, because of what God has brought me through, I can encourage, and that spills out of me.
Yes.
And now God allows me to use that in my life. So in this season I'm in, I'm busy.
Yeah.
I have so much to do, but God has just he keeps me going. He keeps me
Yeah.
grounded.
Yeah.
And there's a song by Jeremy Camp called These Days. And it's you and I were born for such a time as this, for these days, to be a shining bright in a
Yeah.
world that needs the light. And I
A-
love that song. And I don't have all the
Absolutely.
words memorized, but I feel like my faith has allowed me, allowed God for such a time as this. Just like
Yeah.
Esther, I am one. Just like you are. You have this podcast and these tapings, and they're going to go out, and
Yeah.
God is going to use what you've done and your
Yeah.
name, an ever changing world.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. Faith
Every
in an ever-changing world. Absolutely. Yes. Well, Angela, you have certainly got a beautiful faith story and how God has just been with you.
yes,
And He is, E- even when He's quiet, He's working
yes. Ooh,
on
and
our
He is
behalf.
sometimes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I want to put up some places where people can connect with you. She is on
Yes,
Instagram, Facebook,
mhm.
and TikTok.
Yes.
And she is on the website, womenspeakers.com. So if you would like to have her come and speak, you can certainly connect with her there. There will be these links will be in the comment section. So people
Wonderful.
can access them there. Oh, gracious. What a blessing you have been
Oh,
to
thank you,
me this
Janet. Thank you for
morning.
this opportunity to share.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I love that spilling out, we just
Mm,
spill out to other people. And I love that. I love
thank
that.
you.
God bless you.
God bless you, Janet. Thank you again.
Yes. And thank you all for watching. I do want to give a shout out to Abundant TV Network, just a great network for you and your family. You can also see episodes of Faith in an Ever Changing World on that as well. Have faith and look up, friends, where our help comes from. Bye.
Amen.
God bless.